We are fresh in 2025 and it's time to settle the debate on which data system is best for you and your track car. Let's chat. Today we will be comparing the three most common data camera systems that are being used in the paddock. After using all three, I know which one I like best and why. The three most common camera systems I see in the paddock are AIM, Garmin, and VBox. Today I will be discussing the pros and cons of each through personal experience. Initially, I had no idea what a data system or good lap timer was, so I downloaded an app on my phone that would record my lap times and mile per hours on track. This was an excellent and very convenient tool, but was quickly in search of more from the car. We would see all these onboard videos at COTA that showed throttle percentage, braking, steering, and even what gear the car was in. We were off to our local race shop, which back then was Winding Road Racing, to get their preferred system installed. We decided on an AIM Solo system with a forward-facing bullet cam that was windshield mounted. The shop was able to get a base scene to mostly work, and after years of us tinkering, we made some changes until we finally made everything work. After tinkering with the first AIM system, I began installing them myself and made a few changes to the point of where the system was working optimal and we were getting everything out of it that we wanted. Going forward, I started installing the single camera behind the driver on the roll bar to get some wheeling action, and I switched to the camera with the narrower field of view since it was deeper in the cockpit. The beauty of this system is that it pulled all the data and power off our OBD2 port. As soon as we were off track, we would just disconnect the OBD2 plug and took it out of the way. With time, we upgraded the timing units to the Solo 2DL and their newer SmartyCam system. Through time, we also learned that mounting the SmartyCam system to the roll cage was the ticket because it would sometimes overheat in the glove box or center compartment of the car. I learned to love installing the system because I would get everything mounted first, suction cup the Solo 2DL to the windshield, tether to the vent, cage mount the SmartyCam, and cage mount the bullet cam. There was a lot of hardware to add to the system to make this all possible, but once everything was mounted, it was just a matter of connecting wires and routing wires along seams to keep installation clean. One wire was from the Solo 2DL to the OBD2, the second connected the 2DL to the SmartyCam, and the third was a wire going from the SmartyCam to the bullet cam. Once we had everything talking to each other, we would just watch the overlay where we could see throttle, brake, RPM, and speed. Of course, to include lap times. Initially, we found that studying the video with overlay was enough, but a year or two into running this system is when we began pulling the data and looking at the fine details. In this time of our tracking career, we had a pro coach with us, and this is where we began looking at brake pressure and throttle histograms to compare ourselves to those going much quicker in the same car. Looking at these histograms was great, but we were stuck with playing the video separately to confirm if some changes in throttle were due to traffic or other factors on track. So with the AIM, you had to connect yourself to the AIM unit via Wi-Fi. From there, you had to connect to it, grab the correct software, choose the correct session, download it, and then open it through another software program on your computer. The video itself laid in the SmartyCam, which was obviously mounted separately, but you had to pull that separately from the data. We made this work for a few years, but only dreaming of being able to watch our video and data real time side by side. One neat feature from the AIM data that we weren't used to was that you could mix your best sector times to find your optimal lap time. Eventually, downloading data separately from video made us lazy and we were back to just watching the onboard with overlays. After doing a lot of digging, I could not find an invoice of what a Solo 2DL with a SmartyCam would cost us back then, but I am pretty sure it was around $1,800. A similar kit with updated hardware is now around $2,700. The current cam is also 1080p, which seems like a huge upgrade to the quality we were used to with our older systems, which I believe was 720. It doesn't seem like much, but many more details come through the onboards when it's 1080. Do note that I always keep a Solo 2DL unit with me due to how easily it installs in a car. If a friend asks me to drive their car, it takes me 5 to 10 minutes to throw it in and we are off getting lap times, pulling some data, and getting power for the unit from the OBD2. It is a great tool to use versus hopping in a car and doing laps blind. 2020 came around and the Garmin Catalyst hit the market. One of our members was given a brief demo and we were impressed with the simplicity and quality of the system. Also, it was only going to cost $1,000. This system was controlled and run by a single tablet, and it was genius, honestly. This kit came with all the hardware necessary to mount it to the dashboard of your car, and after connecting the power wire and camera cable, you were off to the races in 1080p. At some point, the Garmin became an update nightmare to where we would arrive to the track and the tablet would not connect to the camera, and if there was no camera, the car would not let you log lap times. I believe all this has been sorted with it now, and some people even use the AI coach to find lap time. This until it drives you off the end of the track. I really like the system as the tablet serves as a live delta monitor that displays green if you are going quicker and red if you have lost lap time. Some people keep it in their car for just that function. The Garmin tablet attaches to the power hub magnetically, and you guessed it, they have already become projectiles at the track. There is now a cage mount specifically made for the Catalyst that makes for a safer mounting solution than the one that ships with the kit. I would pair this with a mount that is near the center console and far away as possible from the driver. This to avoid the tablet ending up in the footwell of the driver. Shortly after owning the system, we were hopeful that the time came where we could interface the car with the Garmin. We dreamt of a time where we could see throttle, steering, braking, and all inputs as part of the overlay. Maybe one day. If that day comes, I will make sure to dig the two systems we own out of our storage containers. The last neat feature of the Garmin is that it has an on-track leaderboard. You are able to compete with friends on who is faster and can compare yourself to everyone else on track that has this feature enabled. So seeing where different cars stack up on the leaderboard is pretty cool. Now, if you are an insurance company, turn away. Now that it's just us, I honestly don't know how they get away with this, as creating a timed leaderboard technically makes an HPDE a competitive event. Track insurance does not cover timed events. We move on. The race logic VBox bug bit us late 2020 when our friend Tim was going to help us do a deep dive with data at the shop. He asked me to send him video and data, and that I did. At this point in time, I was not oblivious to the fact that VBox had better camera quality and a dual camera system. I was simply very tied to the AIM ecosystem. In this data session, I learned that VBox provided a synchronized way of looking at onboard video and data. It was twice the cameras at literally twice the price, but the ease of use was shocking. Back then, we paid around $4,300 for a single system, and they are still clicking off lap times today. We ordered a handful of systems for ourselves and friends, and we were off to install these systems and figure out how it all works. I'm not gonna lie, the first system I installed took me over 4 hours. Unlike AIM, I was now stuck with cameras that had certain length wires and every component connected separately. There was a separate wire per camera, for GPS, for the microphone, serial, CAN bus, etc. For this system, I had to better plan how to route wires, and tucking wires became my specialty. Before I received the systems, Tim had already connected me with JC, and he already had an overlay that worked for each one of our cars. I do know that the templates that VBox provides in their software worked well, but there is nothing like having the exact replica of our dash as an overlay on the video. I think having someone like JC made us enjoy VBox from the start, because learning the software and making everything work in our AIM systems is what tied me to it the most. I had put all the time and effort in, and in this case, so did JC, but with VBox. If you all need his info, please reach out so I can get you all connected. My favorite piece in our VBox system is the wire that lets us save everything to a USB drive. That cable is tucked in the center console. When I want to pull the data, I just remove the USB drive and read everything from there. The head unit houses an SD card that also serves as a backup in case the USB isn't connected back. I really enjoy that feature. With our VBox systems, we learned that it is best if you route the antenna to the exterior of the car, this simply to avoid a timing mishap. This is not convenient in our 911s as we must route the GPS antenna out the passenger door. But in our Caymans, it's easy as it goes straight out the hatch onto the roof. The biggest inconvenience of the VBox system is the size of the unit. I have been stuck with putting it in the glove box in some cars, and for anything electronic, the lack of ventilation is not good. We are smart enough to put a half cage in every car we track, so to get it mounted to the cage, all you need is a bracket made by VBox and some long acre mounts for your specific cage size. I would also recommend hardwiring the unit to the car's 12-volt system. To me, that finishes making it part of the car. Now, if we hop into an onboard, you can see everything I have been talking about. The camera quality is amazing, and doesn't the overlay look killer? JC even made DRS work in our 992 3RS scene. If you are hunting for your fastest lap, simply open the Circuit Tool software, click on your storage device, and click away on the VBO files, as the preview will have lap count, circuit, and fastest lap on display. Now you have entered where all the magic happens. The software will automatically link the VBO file to its respective video, and you are off looking at any data parameter and lap you want. As you scroll through your lap, you will see selected values below are automatically in sync. Here is where you can confirm on the spot if whether traffic or simply a bad mistake made for a big delta in lap time. As you can see, I am a big VBox guy now. It is the more complicated system overall, but I feel once you get it dialed in, it is the simplest to use. Now, to answer your questions, which system do I think is best for you? Well, if you find yourself tracking once or twice a year, I would probably push you towards the Garmin. Its ease of use, installation, and price makes for the perfect tool for you. If you roll into the paddock on Hoosier Slicks or Sticky Rubber, you know the answer. Get rid of that Garmin and put a proper system in your car. You are doing multiple events a year, and at this point, it's more than just a hobby. Spend a little money and invest in a tool that will show you how to go faster. It will take you some time to learn how to use it and read all the data, but in my eyes, there is no other way to improve or go faster than by looking at your data and making changes to your driving. Also, if you have any one of these systems and need assistance or have any questions, leave them down below and we will make sure to get them answered. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as this is what helps us get this content to newcomers in motorsports. See you guys in the next one.